Garden irrigation, comfortable and water-saving with water computers from Gardena. For example, with the Easy Control, a simple entry into automatic garden irrigation. Convenient to operate. Watering duration, watering frequency and watering time can be set easily, even without operating instructions. Thus, your garden is always perfectly watered, even if you are away from home. The water computers are rainproof and extremely resistant to pressure. The Gardena Select Control with practical programming suggestions. Especially innovative, choose between 5 preset programs which you can modify as needed. To each Gardena water computer, you can connect a rain or a soil moisture sensor, so your plants get only irrigated if necessary. The Multi-Control Duo doubles your possibilities. It is able to irrigate 2 garden areas individually. Programming is extremely simple thanks to the extra-large display. Without any effort on your part, your flowers are irrigated and your plants get the desired amount of water automatically. Our top models for demanding users. With the Master Control, you can individually adjust up to 6 irrigation programs. On-screen instructions lead you through the different programming steps. Also available with solar panel for a battery-free operation. Full control for the perfect irrigation of your garden. Gardena water computers. Reliable, water-saving and easy to handle. Gardena Multi-Channel Control, the right choice if you want to control more complex systems with several watering lines, reliably and conveniently. Watering by hand is a thing of the past, with the comfortable irrigation controls from Gardena.
What is it you're really looking for in your garden? A unique connection with nature? A place of endless possibilities? Whatever it is, we have what you need. The all-new durable Gardena hoses with power grip, comfortable handling, optimal hold, and the perfect connection to the original Gardena system.
Hello and welcome to Garden Time. My name's Sue Ghazi and I have with me in the studio today Serdar ARAPOİTLU from Mediterranean Garden Centre, and of course what a beautiful studio we've got this week. It's very exotic, isn't it,
Yeah,
Serdar?
it's nice. Yeah, we're starting with the color for this week, I think.
That's it, yes.
It looks nice.
They look absolutely amazing. Now, I don't actually know a lot about orchids, and so I'm going to be delighted to hear about what Serdar's going to tell us about them this week.
Yes, as you know, we have so many questions by email.
Yes.
So it was the most of them about the orchids and how you look after them,
Yes.
and how to change the pots and how we can make them separate.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is all about we're going to talk this week. First of all, we have different orchids on the studio.
Absolutely amazing, aren't
Yeah,
they?
we
They look
choose.
very, very delicate.
Yeah, we choose the double color one.
Yeah.
Sidipium is the one of the, we call it garden orchids as
Garden
well.
orchids, yeah, they're
Yeah,
beautiful.
we have
aren't they?
this, and we have Dedidium is this ones, which
Yes,
is
yeah.
again 2 colors, and as you can see, orchids familiars, these ones as well. But most exciting one always, the ones is living outside, isn't it? And
Yes.
as you know, when they go wild, and is more exciting, is nice to see them.
That's right. I mean, there are a lot of tourists who come to North Cyprus and they go on walking holidays, and when they're walking in and around the mountains
They see them,
of the
yeah.
country.
We have 30 orchids living in Cyprus,
Yeah.
Wales, and of course, Edimakit is 17 of them. which is special for Cyprus.
That's it, yes.
And I think lately this years they start to understand how important the orchids this country, and of course the people, they start to watch out them. We started doing the festival for orchids and everything.
That's right, yeah.
I'm happy. I'm always with the mounting with my camera and always trying to take the pictures, because each of them so different color.
It's amazing, isn't it, just how different they are. I mean, you would think they were completely different kinds of plants, and yet they're all orchids, they're all related.
Yeah, they are. We're going to talk how we need to look after the orchids in the pots ones, which is the mostly they coming from Holland,
Yeah.
I believe. Of course, orchids familia, as you said, is so many.
Yeah.
And this standard orchids, as we getting always present for the other people, the family,
Yeah.
and when someone's birthday or anything,
Yeah.
these ones you can always get any present.
Yeah.
But if you know how to look after it, it is better to you feel happy, because long time you can keep the flower.
That's
And
right,
of
yeah.
course, if you lose the flower very early, this time you will be sad.
That's it, you'll be disappointed.
Yes.
And so, of course, we're waiting to hear what's the best way of looking after them, Serdar.
Yes, these orchids normally, as you can see, is transferred pots, which is, you can see always the roots is coming.
That's it. So it's a transparent pot here.
Yeah, and
you can see the roots.
Yeah,
And
because-
that's to get the light, isn't it?
to get the lights. And of course, the soil is very different. Wood bark soil, we call it,
Yeah.
which is very easily the soil can get through, and then because orchid doesn't like too much water.
Right. So they like plenty of good drainage. So
Exactly.
the wood bark just helps the water to flow through.
That's what it does.
Yeah.
Yes. Sometimes we can hear what they do. They keep the orchids in the water. I don't suggest that, because this way you can lose the roots, and after you can lose the plant.
Yeah.
And it's not healthy plant.
Yeah. I was just looking at this actually. I mean, is this part of a root or is it another shoot
It's
coming?
part of the root, but sometimes these ones can be shoot as well.
Really?
So what
It's
is
unusual.
not coming up here, is coming the leaves from here.
I see.
And then
yeah.
from here you can cut it and root it.
Oh, I see. So you
This
can
is
get new cuttings from
New
those.
cuttings, yeah, which is we're going to talk about soon. Which new cuttings with that one. So watering, as we said, good drainage.
Yes.
And always when you water the orchids, if it's winter time, you shouldn't use the straight away tap water, especially when it's too cold.
Right. So they don't like cold water.
They don't like cold water. You have to keep the water somewhere,
Yeah.
settle down water,
right.
and then use it. And of course, regularly when you watering, you have to use the same justed water. Maybe you can use the same cup. And there is another thing, same time of the day when you water it. This is important
Oh,
as
I
well.
didn't know that.
Yeah, and the days as well. So
Really?
if you water it every 3 days,
Yeah.
it's better to water it every 3 days. Of course, summertime, we have to water it every 2 days maybe, or sometimes when it's too dry, every day. Some water
Yeah.
is important.
Yeah. I notice actually that particular orchid looks in quite a small pot, but I guess that is the right size for it, isn't it? So it's big flowers.
These pots, because always when is the pots small
Yeah.
and roots fill up the cup,
Yeah.
they start to give the flower and the leaves.
I see.
Always plants rooting, then give up.
I see.
So from
And
the
that-
beginning,
Yeah.
it's better to use small pots.
I see.
But-
So to get the best flowers then,
Yeah.
first it needs to grow the root system and then it'll start flowering because
All plants same, and which is same orchid as well.
Yeah.
So it's better always to use it the small pots. Of course, we're going to talk about the change in the pot as well.
Yeah.
So sometimes they change in the pots
Yeah.
and they put in the different color pots,
I see. So an
which
ordinary
is they
plant
choosing
pot-
the color they like, red, yellow, blue, whatever. It's not right things to do. You have to get transparent pots, bigger one. which is if you're going to transfer this orchid, bigger one,
Yeah.
is best things to do.
Right. So you wouldn't advise, for example, if you were going to repot the orchid, to just use any ordinary pot, even if you're repotting it to the next size. Of course, it still needs to be transparent for the roots.
Exactly. And of course, use the orchid soil. This is important. If you use the standard soil, which is you're going to get not healthy plant.
Right.
And of course, you have to wait the leaves when it starts getting yellow, and you lose the flower, which is, we already done this. We transferred the bigger pot, as you can see, this is bigger.
Yeah.
And you can see the soil as well,
So,
the wood,
the bark.
bark here and everything.
Yeah.
This way, and if it's too dry, the plant, you can always trim it as well. And you can see after trim it from here, it was right, new branches come in.
Oh, I see. So these are all new branches.
This is all new branches coming.
You can see the end of the leaf coming out
Yeah.
here.
Yes. So
That's interesting.
from that way, you will see soon the flower is coming as well. So it's better always, as we said, bigger pot. Use the right compost for the orchid compost, and of course we're going to show what kind of this wood bark is. This wood bark is helping the water to go drainage as well, and of course, especially for orchids, is very good.
Yeah, now that's quite a coarse mixture there, isn't it?
As you can see, is a wood bark.
Yeah.
Yes, and mix it with
Quite fibrous.
mix it with the soil and everything.
Yeah.
And this way, you can get healthy orchids.
Yeah. Can I just ask you something, Serdar? Would you put any stones or gravel or anything in the bottom of the pot?
No.
Or it doesn't need it?
With this, you don't need anything.
This is all you need?
This is wood bark. This is what you need. With this soil, especially for orchids, you don't need, as you can see on the back as well, it shows how the drainage and everything. And especially for orchids.
Right, so that's all we need.
That's
nothing,
all we
nothing
need.
else.
Nothing else.
Special.
Of course, when you transfer the orchids, as we said, when you lose the flower and everything, you can start to use vitamins for it.
Right.
So which is the liquid one or powder one.
Right.
Both, they work the same. And this helps to come to backs the leaves easily and flowers early.
And that's specially made for orchids, isn't it?
This is for orchid, as you can see the orchid flowers there as well. Just orchid plants.
Right. So I think they must have special needs. If you were using an ordinary fertiliser, you wouldn't have the same results, would you?
No.
Right.
Still better than nothing, as
Better
we
than
always
nothing,
say. But it's best things to do. Use the right orchid vitamins.
Right.
It's better.
And there you can find those at Mediterranean Garden Centre.
We have everything about
You
this.
got everything there.
Yeah. So there is another things we're going to talk is today to rooting, which is sometimes you can see so many leaves and so many plants is coming together. So you think even if you transfer this orchid, the bigger pot, it's not going to be enough. Maybe you can choose bigger pot, bigger than this, again, and then, or maybe you can start to take it single.
Right, so you can split it a little bit
You
as
can
well.
split it and just make it more flower for you.
So when you're doing that then, when you're splitting the plant, would you take the leaves and the roots together? Is that how you would split it?
You have to cut it.
You cut it. I
Cut
see.
it, not to break it and damage it.
I see.
Have to be very gently.
Yeah.
And then you have to do this until before end of the May.
Right.
After end of the May, you shouldn't do this.
It's too late then. I suppose it's too hot as well for them,
it is
isn't
too
it?
hot. Until end of the May, you can do. And as we say, sometimes these branches is make root from here as well.
Really?
Yes, they do. Yeah, from there. And this one is already started doing the roots.
Really?
You can do cuttings from here and just put it in new pot, of course small one, not this one, because this one transferring one, small one, and just put it the soil and
And it'll grow like that?
They just grow like that. You don't even need any root powder or nothing, because there is already roots there.
I see.
Which is, you just giving them chance and they will go ahead.
So it's good for those people who don't have green fingers then.
Of course, Psididium garden orchids, which is these ones is, and they don't need transferred pots. They're okay with the pots. And these ones, when you get anything like this, what you need to do, you have to wait until the flowers end, and you can always transfer it to bigger pots, or best things to do, put it in your garden.
So they'll actually grow in the garden?
They are growing in the garden.
Really? So you don't have to bring them in winter to protect them from the you know, the cold weather?
No. They're okay. Really? It's only if you choose the shade area.
Yes.
It's better for them the summertime.
Right.
But still, half sun, they will be okay.
Yeah.
They don't need all the time shade. Half sun, they will be okay. I saw them in Cyprus, full sun as well.
Right.
Yeah. So they will be all right.
Absolutely beautiful, aren't they? Very delicate flowers on them.
They are. And these Psididium ones, you don't need to use this soil only. You can use the normal compost together and mix it.
Right, so they would still benefit from some of
not
this
only
if you
wood
mix
bar, you can use it with the compost, and then it's better performance.
Gosh, well, they're absolutely beautiful, aren't they? They're stunning. And of course, in England, of course, tomorrow on Sunday, the 30th of March, it is Mother's Day. So I'm sure
yes. We say from here, Happy Mother's Day as well.
Happy Mother's Day. And I'm sure any mother would be absolutely delighted to have one of these plants.
Every mother deserves the best flower. So if we're talking about best flower today, I believe they are one of the best flower in the world, orchids.
Yes.
Any country you ask and you always speak with the people, they will say your best flower orchids. They are.
Yes.
We love them. And if we love our mother, we can get them best orchids as well. I suggest that.
Yeah, so of course any mother would be absolutely delighted to have one of these plants, wouldn't they? And they'd be very special, especially if they can take cuttings as well. And it's a memory forever then, isn't it? A lasting memory.
I always say ladies, they love flower better than men. I always say that. But there is a man, they like them as well. But especially when to look after it, always women make more time for the plants. I'm sure about this. Yes.
Anyway, we were looking at this actually, Serdar, and these are absolutely stunning,
very,
aren't they?
very special. They have live color and everything.
They are.
And the flowers more than leaves.
Yeah, and they're very delicate
they have a scent
as well.
They have a scent as well.
Yeah. And what I've noticed here actually are some shoots coming up.
Yeah, if you take this one, they can see it as well. There's a new shoots coming. This is always coming more. And this plant, as you can see from here as well, other one, I show the bigger one. Look, this one even more. So later on, this pot is not going to be enough strong for this plant. So it's going to need to transfer this. And this one again, wood bark only.
Only the wood bark, yeah. I mean, these roots look, it looks unusual, doesn't it, at the top? They almost look as though they're dried out, but of course they are living plants.
These are more healthy. As you can see, the roots bigger and stronger.
Yes, and they're slightly green on the top as well.
Yeah, and why we understand is stronger as is give the plant as well.
Yeah.
You can see this plant is bigger and the strongest, yes.
Yeah, they're very delicate.
Of course, this one doesn't need a special pot.
Right.
Any color of the pot is okay for them.
Right, so there's a difference between this kind of orchid and these here.
Yeah.
These will be okay in coloured pots.
Will go right color pot. Yeah.
Okay.
And they're okay with a little bit more water as well, no problem.
Okay.
But as same normal standard orchid, you have to keep this in the light area inside, indoor plants there. Right. They're not okay for the wind or sun outside.
Right, so you wouldn't keep them on the balcony then? These are actually...
Balcony is okay. Balcony is okay.
Yeah.
but as long as it's not too much wind.
Right, so you wouldn't actually plant them in the garden like this?
No,
it's a
no.
different kind of orchid.
Is this one, Sebidium one, is always outside. You can plant them like a group and they look fantastic, yes.
Yeah, they're very different, aren't they? I mean, I must admit that I've never grown orchids before, but I mean, tempted to try now that we've seen them.
Yeah, why we bring up this article this week? Because so many times they asking us, I got Sebidium and the flower finish and never flower back again.
Yeah.
Which is, if you keep it the same pot and you don't transfer it to bigger pot, you don't use any vitamin and you don't do anything for this, they don't have enough energy to bring the color and the flower back.
Yeah, I
so
see.
which is, of course, choosing the right compost and the wood bark, mix it together, transfer it in the garden or maybe bigger pot, and little bit vitamin, you will see the flower is coming.
Well, that's a very useful tip, actually, isn't it? I mean, if you've had one of these in the garden, of course, and it's not doing too well, that's what we need to do.
Yeah,
So
and of course, same is this orchid as well. Sometimes I can see because couples, when they come to our garden center, the man's asking the lady, can I get you one orchid? No. Because after flowers goes, what we'll do? Yes. When is the flower go, is not end of the plant, you know. A little bit try, little bit help the plant. You can bring the color back. And this time, when is the flower comes, you will enjoy it more because you will say, I did this, you know, I make the plant to come back the flower, and that's give you more enjoy.
That's right. I mean, it's always much better, isn't it, if you've actually grown the plant yourself, and I mean, you can see the end result as the flower that you've grown yourself.
Yeah, when you try something and you end up you winging the flower or you winging the plant. You enjoy and you will say, yeah, I did this and it's good. It's good feeling, you know.
Exactly, yeah. Right, Serdar, I wonder if you could tell us, please, what kind of extra care do they need? Do they need spraying, for example? Do they have any pests?
They normally, what's happened is after, as you can see, I brought this especially. You can see from some burns here.
Yes, it is actually, isn't it? Just in the centre of the leaf.
And the yellow leaves. This means they need iron vitamin, which is you can transfer after this vitamin. You can transfer little bit iron vitamin to bring the color back. And there is another problem they have. Sometimes they get worms inside, which is eating the roots. So maybe some chemicals for the worms. In the watering can and just water it and end of the problem. That much simple. Right.
So you'd be able to provide those things at your Mediterranean Garden Centre?
They can always bring the plant for us. They don't have to transfer or anything. But if they want to do it, we show them. And we can transfer or we can explain them what they need to do. And if it need any take care, we can take care of.
Well, that's always very useful to know, actually, because if you do have a problem with your plants, if you take them along to the Mediterranean Garden Centre, either Serdar or one of his team there will be able to show you exactly
what they need to do. What they need to do.
Exactly.
Of course, first time when they learn, afterwards it will be more easier, I believe.
Exactly.
But I'm sure after this speaking here as well, give them some experience, and at least they're gonna start to think, if I get any orchids, I'm not going to be disappointed about it. They got some idea, I believe.
Yeah, because I think everyone tends to think that orchids are very difficult to grow. They're very exotic. I mean, no one really in England grows them much, I wouldn't think. I mean, we tend to sort of think it's like a more specialist plant to grow.
Believe me, the orchids is very easy look after it. Very easy plant. It just stay there and all they need, just water and maybe every month or every 20 days, maybe just a little bit vitamin.
A little bit of food.
Even sometimes you don't give them any food or nothing and still they there. And of course, is not good idea to keep in the small pots, because you will see soon all the roots coming out.
Yeah.
Which is giving you the news, is giving you the idea, I'm ready to go to bigger pots.
So really it's telling you, isn't it,
Exactly.
that it needs to be repotted.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So how often would these flowers, how often would the plant flower? How often
This flower is go at least 2-3 months.
Really?
This flower. And always the new ones come in. Like we call it, you know, the lemons is called 7 gives.
Yes.
Always one is ready and another one is on the way.
Yeah.
Orchid is same as well.
Yes, I
They
can see
always the
those.
opens and always the new branches is coming away and keeping long time flowering.
Right, so on the plant then, you'd have 1 or 2 flowers coming out and then it would have some more buds coming. And
Always buds on the way.
And that's how it goes.
Yeah. Always buds on the way.
Right.
And they don't flower all of them and all of a sudden finish all of them. They flower, they make you smile, and they show you some bugs. We are on the way coming as well.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, this is the way they are.
Right, so they're going to flower, and then whilst they're flowering, there's going to be more buds coming as well.
Exactly, exactly.
Gosh.
And this flower,
Yeah.
it's go a long time, very, very long
It
time.
is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the ones in the garden? Do they last for quite some
Yeah.
time as well?
This one is, they are very long time flower,
Yeah.
but is little bit delayed than these ones to flower again.
I see.
They keep the flower longer than 2-3 months, but when they need to flower again, it takes more time for them.
I see, yeah.
I think you have a question.
Yes, I do actually. We had an email in from one of our viewers in England, Mrs. Rosa Baxendale, and she sent in the email asking why is it that we plant lavender near the roses? Now,
Yeah,
unfortunately, she just didn't hear what you were saying
I see,
on the
I
last
see.
programme.
Yeah, I have some email about this as well,
Yes.
because they were very interesting about this, because most garden lovers, they don't like to use chemicals a lot, and when is this ways to tell them, to explain them natural way to look after the plants, that's what interest for them. So we say in the lavender always these roses, when they have fungus, which is, we call it the local name küllenme.
Yes.
If you plant the lavender too close for the roses,
Yeah.
that's a stop for that sickness.
I see.
So natural way you can fight with this fungus sickness,
Yeah.
and you don't need to use any chemicals.
Yeah.
Which is this time of the year, especially beginning of the April, after 15th of the March,
Yes.
all the roses, the new branches is coming.
Yeah.
And a little bit later, when the sun comes, you'll start to see all the whites, the fungus is on the way.
Yeah.
So after, when they had this sickness, even if you use the right and quality chemical, it takes long time to protect it, to bring
Yeah.
the branches back. Even if you lose little bit justin, if you put little bit more than what you should to be, you can burn the older leaves as well.
That's it, because you have to be careful with the right dosage of these chemicals as well, because you can do more harm to the plant.
And
can't
then
you?
right time.
Yeah.
If you use the chemical in daytime when it's too hot, which is already starts to getting hot outside,
It is, it's getting warm now, isn't it?
yeah, you can burn the leaves,
Yeah.
and you lose the rose season.
Yeah.
You lose it.
Yeah. So, in effect, the lavender then helps against
The roses to not to get the fungus.
that's it, yes.
Yeah, natural way.
Yes.
And of course, this lavender also, the way they smell and everything,
Yes.
is keeping the snakes away as well. We said about this as well.
Because we do have some snakes here in
Yeah,
North
we
Cyprus
already,
as well.
yeah, they already started coming out.
Right.
I saw last week one as well.
Really?
And of course, I have one question as well from my garden watchers. They ask what they need to do about this, about the snakes.
About the snakes, right.
If you want, I can answer this
yes,
as well.
please do.
Yeah. There is plants, normally there is plants which is you plant them in your garden and they help you to keep the snakes away, which is the last week we talk about it. Yes. Geraniums.
Geraniums, yes, that's it.
Yeah, geraniums, the way they smell and the way they are, snake doesn't like them. So this is the one of the way you can do. But sometimes you will say, I cannot put everywhere geraniums, all my garden, which is maybe you put one of the part of the garden.
Yeah.
And then, of course, what we did, because there is lots of asking about this, lots of people, they need help about this, and always they ask us, they ask Mediterranean Garden Center, what you suggest. And we look and we find one powder from Italy, which is this powder. There is a one plant there, and they break it and they make it the powder.
Right.
And this snakes doesn't like that smell, which is not chemicals. Even you can test it with your finger.
Yeah, so it's completely organic.
Organic.
Right. That's
and especially your doors, front doors, toilets, windows, and all around the garden, if you put this powder, especially this time of the year, because this is the right time they start coming out.
That's it, yes.
And this is the most dangerous time for them. And of course, is only one thing you should to watch, rain. Because when it's rain, this powder is taken away. So this time of the year, you can start to, because I believe it's rain stop now.
Yes.
And when it's rain, not unluckily, but if it's raining, we need rain, of course. If it's raining and you lose that powder, you can put more,
just sprinkle
I think.
Some more
on. Just there. And with that way, you can keep safe your house with that plant powder away from the snake.
Well, that's very interesting to know, isn't it?
Yeah. So we can always answer these questions. I think you are going to say about the oral email as well.
Yes. I mean, any questions which you might have for Serdar, you can always send them by email to serdar@medgardener.com, and he'll be happy to have a look at your emails, and we'll be happy to discuss them on the show.
Yeah, we can explain them with you here, what they need to do, any questions, anything, even the plant, fruit trees, whatever they need to know, they can always ask us.
Yeah.
And we'll grateful to answer them.
Yeah. So it's been wonderful having you on the show today, Serdar.
Yeah, I believe it's been very nice color program, I think.
Absolutely. It's been very interesting as well. I'm sure people have learned a lot about the orchids, how to repot them and how to keep them going.
Yes, I believe as well, yes. And I feel very good about this program because it's different. We're always trying to make different and hopeful programs.
That's it, yes.
So I'm glad.
Yeah. Well, it's been lovely having you in the studio, Serdar.
Thank you. It's nice to talking. Yeah, it's nice to talking about garden again.
Right, so we'd like to wish you a very happy gardening this week.
Yeah, happy gardening and happy Good Mother Day. Speak to you next week. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
This program is sponsored by Mediterranean Garden Center, who give advice every week to help you with the jobs in your garden.
Hedge trimming? Now it's easy and convenient with Gardena, because for every hedge and working condition, there's a Gardena hedge trimmer for you. Cutting sideways? With Gardena Ergo Cut, it's convenient and easy thanks to the rotating blade unit. Without changing the position of your hands, just turn the blade unit through 90 degrees and you're ready to go. Perfectly balanced, comfortable handling in any working position. Cutting the top of the hedge? With Gardena Ergo Cut, you can stand in the ideal cutting position next to the hedge, and the ergonomically shaped handles make it comfortable and safe to use. Laser cut precision blades hold the branches to be cut and handle diameters of up to 27 mm. A fast, efficient, clean cut, guaranteed. And for gardens with small to medium-sized hedges, we have Gardena Easy Cut, a light, electric, ergonomic tool that makes light work of hedge trimming. Cutting taller hedges? Gardena High Cut is the ideal product, packed with power to make hedge trimming easy and convenient, whatever your needs. Simply adjust the telescopic handle to the desired length, turn the rotating blade unit, and off you go. And for very tall hedges, the Gardena High Cut can extend to a working height of up to 3 meters. Then, to reach the top of the hedge, tilt the cutting head with a simple wrist action to the desired angle and start working. With this powerful tool, cutting is smooth and easy. With Gardena High Cut, you get convenient cutting of high hedges from a safe standing position on the ground, with no ladder required. Cutting sideways is also no problem, thanks to the rotating blade unit. Without changing the position of your hands, just turn it through 90 degrees and continue. Whether powered by electric motor or lithium-ion rechargeable battery, whether on small, large or taller hedges, Gardena has the right hedge trimmer for you, your garden and your needs.